his face a mask of sorrow. Angela, that makes me feel even worse. Because I have to tell you the truth now. I lied. Angela froze. What? I did sleep with her, Marcus said, leaning in. That's my baby. The DNA test came back today. I even told Sabrina to lie to you if you showed up, but I can't live with the guilt anymore. The transformation in Angela was instantaneous. The peaceful, apologetic wife evaporated, replaced by a volcanic entity. Have you lost your damn mind? She screamed, grabbing the nearest heavy object. You think you're gonna come in here and tell me that? Whoa, 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 Marcus shouted, backpedaling as he burst into laughter. I thought you were never going to fly off the handle again. I thought you were done. He pulled out Sabrina's letter. The silence that followed was heavy enough to collapse the floorboards. Marcus had won the battle, but as Angela's eyes narrowed into slits, he realized he had likely lost the war. Chapter 5. The Peaches Incident. Domestic tranquility was further disrupted when Angela found a hand-rolled cigarette in the hallway outside MJ's room. Marcus! Look at this! She screamed, holding the joint as if it were a live grenade. Our son is doing drugs. He's a crackhead. Angela, it's one joint, Marcus said, trying to maintain a shred of logic. And it's weed, not crack. It's the gateway drug, Marcus. Next thing you know, he'll be on the street corner with no teeth, scratching himself and calling himself Peaches. Like my Uncle Harold. I won't have a child named Peaches. The intervention was brutal. They cornered MJ, who looked utterly bewildered. I'm flying high as a kite, Daddy, MJ joked, thinking his parents were in a good mood. Got an A on my test. Oh, you're high all right, Angela shouted, shoving the joint in his face. Is this why you're bawling? Is it the Mary Jane? That's not mine, MJ insisted. I've never seen that in my life. Marcus, usually the cool-headed one, was disappointed. MJ, go to your room. We don't tolerate liars in this house. MJ retreated, muttering about Negro spirituals and child welfare services, leaving Marcus and Angela to mourn the loss of their son's innocence. But the plot thickened when Miss V walked in. She saw the joint on the counter and didn't flinch. In fact, she looked annoyed. What are you two hovering over my medicine for? She asked. Your medicine? Angela gasped. The doctor prescribed it, Miss V said, her voice softening for the first time in years. I've been taking chemotherapy. I have a little cancer. The marijuana calms my stomach after the treatments. The room went cold. The Peaches joke wasn't funny anymore. Angela and Marcus were flooded with a different kind of guilt, the kind that couldn't be fixed with a prank. They realized that while they were busy arguing over thin walls and old flings, the woman who held their house together was fighting for her life in silence. Miss V, why didn't you tell us? Marcus asked, hugging her. I didn't want to fuss, she said. Now give me my joint and go tell that boy he's off punishment. And Marcus? Your apology better come in the form of a paycheck with an extra zero. Chapter 6. The Gay Husband and the Security Guard. The salon expansion was finally nearing completion. But Tariq wasn't the only ghost returning to haunt the present. Angela's old college friend, Nick, arrived in town. Nick was charming, handsome, and shared an intimate history with Angela that made Marcus's skin crawl. Years ago, to keep Marcus from getting jealous, Angela and Leslie had convinced him that Nick was gay. He's my gay husband, Angela would say. And Marcus had bought it for over a decade. But during a celebratory dinner, the truth began to leak like a broken faucet. Joseph and Richard, who had been in on the secret, couldn't keep their stories straight. Wait, Marcus said, looking at Nick, who was currently feeling Marcus's muscle tone in an exaggeratedly campy way. If Nick is gay, why did Leslie tell me he was a player in college who hit on everything that moved? The table went silent. Angela looked at her wine glass as if it contained the secrets of the universe. Okay, Marcus said, a predatory smile forming. Since Nick is gay and looking for love, I have the perfect guy for him. You guys remember Frank, the security guard at the studio? 6'8", 300 pounds of solid muscle. He just got out of prison for attempted murder of his last lover. He's looking for a cuddler. Nick's face went pale. Prison? Murder? Yeah, Marcus continued. He's on his way over right now. He just had his back and legs waxed. He's ready for some spooning. 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 I'm not gay, Nick screamed, standing up so fast he nearly flipped the table. The secret was out. Angela braced for the explosion. But Marcus just sat back, sipping his drink. I know, Marcus said. I've known for 5 minutes. And Angela? Men and women can be friends. But when you lie about it for 14 years, it makes me wonder if you're trying to convince me or yourself. Chapter 7. The Proposal Disaster. As the weeks passed, the focus shifted from Marcus and Angela to their friends, Richard and Keisha. Keisha was Marcus's ex-wife, a fact that made every group outing an exercise in awkwardness. Richard, a successful but somewhat oblivious businessman, decided it was time to put a ring on it. He sought Marcus's advice, which was like asking a gazelle how to best season a lion. A prenup, Richard, Marcus advised. Keisha will take you for everything. The house, the cars, the fillings in your teeth. A prenup is a setup for failure, Keisha argued when she got wind of it. The drama culminated in a dinner party where two very different relationships hit the rocks. Richard proposed to Keisha with a $50,000 ring. She said yes, but only after a theatrical monologue about her dream wedding involving 22 Clydesdale horses and 5,000 doves. Meanwhile, Leslie and Joseph were having a different kind of conversation. Leslie had seen a ring box in Joseph's bag and assumed it was for her. She had spent the evening acting like a blushing bride-to-be, only to discover that the ring was the one Joseph had picked up for Richard. Wait, so you're not proposing? Leslie asked, her voice reaching a pitch that could shatter glass. Leslie, we talked about this. You said you didn't want to be tied down. Joseph argued. That was before I saw a 4-carat diamond, she yelled. Joseph, trying to navigate the minefield, made the ultimate mistake. He looked at his watch. Leslie, are you okay? What's the date? Is it that time of the month? You're always a little sensitive when... The collective gasp from every woman in the room was audible. Mayday, Mayday, Marcus whispered to the empty air. He's crashing and burning. No survivors. Leslie didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She simply pointed to the door. Joseph, you have 10 seconds to get out of this house before I show you exactly how sensitive I can be. Epilogue. The symphony continues. A month later, the salon expansion was finished. Tariq had moved on to his next job, leaving behind a bittersweet memory and a very sturdy bearing wall. Miss V was in remission, her spirit as indomitable as ever. Marcus and Angela sat on their porch, watching the sunset. Their relationship was a chaotic, beautiful, exhausting mess. It was built on a foundation of fierce love and a scaffolding of frequent misunderstandings. You know, Marcus said, taking her hand. The walls in the new salon are thicker, are they? Angela smiled. Yeah. But the walls in this house? I think I like them thin. Because, Marcus grinned, I want to make sure MJ hears us singing Larry White tonight. Loud and clear. It's Barry White, Marcus. Whatever, baby. As long as it's loud. Inside, MJ put on his headphones, sighed, and prepared for another long night of the Williams Family Symphony. For better or worse, the music never stopped.